All right, Sagittarius, thanks for tuning in to this November of 2014 horoscope. My name is Athen, and the big thing this month is Saturn. Saturn is changing signs. He's been in Libra for the past 2.5 years, and he's going into Scorpio on the 2nd. So the emphasis for you guys over the past 2.5 years in terms of Saturn, the structure, the discipline, the maturity, has been in your 11th house. So this is the house of groups. It's also the house of the community, of the collective. And overall, it's of our ideals. The 11th house, which is associated with, Aquarius, which is about the idealistic side of ourselves and what we want, not for us necessarily, is for humanity or for the world. It's our vision. It's the big picture. And it's also our higher self. So in a spiritual sense, you guys have become essentially masters of your higher self, of embodying your higher self in a certain way. For some of you more than others. But in either case, Saturn has taught you that lesson, so you guys are leveling up in that area. So perhaps a lot of you got a lot done in that sector with the community, with the with the groups, or with friends even, or anything to do with your ideals. And this is also money from your career also being second from the 10th. So perhaps, really seeing how you can make more money through your career, that sort of thing, but it just depends on you individually. But in either case, Saturn is finishing up his transit. He's going to be going into your guys' 12th house. So there's a freeing up of the ideals. The ideals and all this should start to kind of open up a bit, because that's the freedom aspect. When Saturn leaves the sign, we usually feel quite uplifted in that area. And of course, this has to do with relationships too, because he's been in Libra. So for all of us, it's had to do with relationships. So maybe for you guys, because you guys are naturally, as Sagittarians, the 11th house doesn't always, strictly mean groups, but you guys have a Libra rulership over your 11th, which is one-on-one relationships. So for most of you, I wouldn't be surprised if it was group or community related in some way. But anyways, Saturn's going there, so there's a freedom and there's a lifting in that area. So things might start to feel like they're flowing or they're lively. You guys just get it now, With Saturn, it's usually like we get it. We understand it. We understand how to work with those energies. So level up. Congratulations. And now Saturn is going to go into your guys' 12th house, which then has to do with spirituality. So for the next 2.5 years, and this is spirituality of presence, of peace, of, understanding the importance of tranquility and acceptance in our lives and of surrendering. And, really just giving that firm look in the reality of a situation and accepting it. Because Saturn is essentially rules third dimension, and he... you might say his domain is the third dimension. So everything we see, feel, touch, taste, the physicality to our existence here on Earth. So when he goes into the 12th, there is a merging taking place, but the firmness is still required. The groundingness is still required. So you guys are entering into a spiritual time now for the next 2.5 years, but it's about grounding it. And it's about becoming spiritual masters, mastering the flow of the universe, you might say, and not how to manipulate it, because the 12th house isn't manipulated. It's source, it's flow, it's the universe. It's how you can work with it better. So really pay attention over the next 2.5 years, and especially this month, by the way, because this is rare. This doesn't normally happen. We have the Sun, Venus, and Mercury all shifting signs at the same time as Saturn, right over Saturn. They're all going to conjunct Saturn as Saturn transits into the 12th. So this month in particular, but over the next 2.5 years, there's an emphasis on becoming that spiritual master and how to flow with the universe better in a more masterful sense. But you guys are wanting to do this. This is all very positive. There's positive aspects. And leading the way is Venus. And Venus, whenever she leads the way in front of the sun, when they change signs like this, it's usually an indication that we're wanting to make the change. And so for you guys, it's the time of the year really for you guys to relax, take it easy. Obviously, this is different depending if this is your sun, moon, or ascendant, but generally it's the time of the year for you to relax, time for some present, some going with the flow. You can still do things, there's still action, there's still actually a lot of energy for you guys, which I'll talk about with Mars in your first, but in a way of going with the flow and acceptance and presence and those sorts of things. So it's taking a lot of time to meditate, but I think you guys are just wanting to do it. And of course, this is meditation in all different forms. All of us meditate in different ways. Some of us through hiking, some of us through cooking, some of us through cleaning. It's just stuff off the top of my head. Working even, a lot of us find that very meditative. So whatever it is for you, It's a great time to do that, and you can gain a lot of R&R and relaxation and presence, which is going to help you further once the sun and the rest of the planets transit your first house next month. So in either case, there is, like I said, a strong emphasis on your first. You've got Mars going conjunct with Pluto in your guys' first house on the 10th. And the way this general energy works is there's a tremendous amount of energy. It's just very powerful when these two planets come together. It happens once every 2.5 years. So now Mars is going to contact Pluto, and this is in your guys' first house. So in terms of Pluto, you know, you guys have been restructuring. Your whole identity has been in a constant state of renewal and restructure, and in a sense your relationships as well. And now Mars is coming into contact with this. And Mars for you guys, you know, Mars rules your guys' fifth house. So a little bit of an emphasis here on how you can bring more joy into your life, into your well-being, into the day-to-day aspects of things, and also more spirituality, because Mars rules that 12th house. So the ruler of your 12th, there's a lot of emphasis there on the 12th, but now the ruler of your 12th is going to conjunct Pluto, which really signifies a shift and a change. So I think a lot of you are ready to make some, perhaps take some serious steps in restructuring the spiritual side of things, or the psyche, or anything that's 12th house related, getting real serious with that. But in either case, use the energy around the 10th to put it into that, to put it into the joy, the fun, fifth house creative stuff, along with the spiritual stuff, and also into your guys' self. And this is where the real emphasis is, because it's happening in your first house. So any new goals, any new ambitions, drives that you guys are achieving this month, you have a tremendous amount of energy to put into that. Just make sure you're doing it constructively, because Pluto wants the change. But Mars, you know, can be a little bit impatient, and depending on how Mars is aspected in your personal chart, a little hard to work with. So if the energies are high in that first house area, you know, this might be a time of needing to exercise it out, or do something athletic to burn off the excess energy. Otherwise, it can become quite volcanic and could be disruptive. So use the energy efficiently. And the best way is to channel it into whatever projects you guys are doing this month, whatever's first house related, which has to do with you, know, whatever goals you guys are setting, and have goals. This is the month to have goals. And you can achieve a lot with those goals this month. And depending on whether they're short-term or long-term goals, you could complete those goals as well. Now, we have the full moon taking place in Aries, so in that fifth house. So this is a fun month for you guys. There's enjoyment here, and there's definitely creativity as well. So pay attention around the 6th to that. See all the joy in your life. See the you know, the things that you enjoy, and express yourself. Really tap into yourself and just be yourself is really the emphasis here, especially around the 6th. And whatever insight you gain, because there's usually insight that's fifth house related, that's creative or has to do with your self-expression, pay attention to it, because I feel it's really connected to this Mars energy that's happening just a few days later. It could be a new creative project some of you come to an awareness of, or decide to start working on, or whatever it is, maybe expressing yourself in a certain way, or into your work, or something like that. So good expansion there. That's the full moon, lots of energy. So a lot of energy, again, emphasized with fifth house, particularly the first half of the month. Then the second half of the month, we have the new moon on the 22nd, and this is happening in that 12th house. So as Saturn's getting in there, you think you guys are getting more serious, wanting to enjoy, taking some time out, refresh, because when you do this, you're going to see energy. The more you meditate and do this flowing and presence, you're going to gain energy this month by doing that. And thinking about, and there's intuition developing. But in either case, on the 22nd, all of that activity that's taking place in your 12th house is going to start you off into a new beginning. Perhaps it's a new spiritual path, but it's a path of not Sagittarius, which is like a spiritual journey. It's like a path of peace, you know, and acceptance. It's the end of the Zodiac. It's the final culmination. And perhaps, you know, this can take shape in so many different ways, but perhaps it's seeing the you know, the beauty of life, and when it's peaceful and simple. You know, the simple life is really what usually is emphasized generally by the 12th, is, you know, how beautiful life is when it's simple, and that's it. And all the immense beauty and satisfaction and joy, and, you know, Venus is there, the sun is there, expression, vitality, and all this stuff that comes from that. So that's a new perspective, and for some of you, it could be brand new beginnings, you know, maybe new, you know, I don't know, spiritual class or something related to that, where maybe over the next month or couple years, you might be doing something productive or constructive with spiritual stuff. And this is dream space, it's psyche, it's psychology, it's intuitive. So a lot of you who are doing like intuitive studies or that sort of thing, definitely productive energy. But overall, merging the groundedness, getting practical, getting real with the spiritual side of things is really emphasis for you guys this month. All right, so one more thing too is we have a couple station directs this month. We've got Neptune going direct on the 16th and Chiron on the 23rd, and these are both happening in your 3rd house. So for those of you who might have felt like communications have been blocked or things haven't been flowing, or maybe studies have been on hold, or something in the 3rd house that has been reflective, and you guys have been retrospecting on the inside of perhaps how you're thinking, your thinking patterns, how those are important. Whatever that is, things start to move forward now for you going on here into November and December, especially at the end of this month into December. And there's a good sense of healing. Right now you guys are going through a healing of how you communicate, how you express yourself. So allow that healing to take place, but just know that at the end of the month things will certainly clear up for you in that area. And also step into that compassionate. Be compassionate with yourself. That's overall the general energy of this slight conjunction between Neptune and Chiron. But it's strongly associated with your thinking patterns and communication patterns. All right, guys, so I'm going to draw a card and see where Spirit would like a little more emphasis. Okay, Sagittarius. Well, this comes up a lot in my daily recordings, and maybe there's a strong emphasis for you guys into this. Well, you guys are Sagittarians, and you guys are all about freedom and expressing, just enjoying a life that is, expansive. Because as long as there's opportunities, as long as there's an open horizon, then you guys are good. It depends on your sun, moon, or ascendant, of course. But, and the thing is, though, with all this activity, with Mars and Pluto and all this transiting Sagittarius right now at the moment, there's a strong emphasis on our path for everybody. And so this is what you guys are masters of. You guys are right now helping the collective restructure their path and their life direction. This is your role, whether it's on a day-to-day level, through your work, but it's every day is really what it is. All of your interactions, you guys are helping with that. So, in this sense, for you guys, it's your path is shifting, but you guys are aware of this, you're keen on it. So just maintain that flow with the changing of the path. Keep doing those releasings, which is what Pluto has been really showing you guys in that 1st house, is hold off on those attachments, especially attachments about who you think you are, because the 1st house is our self-image and our self-confidence. And so Pluto's restructuring all that, and just build on the meaningful aspects of who you are, on what you're really about, and what you can do to really, be more of service to your path and to the path that's shifting for all of us at the moment. And keep opening those horizons, because that's creating more opportunities for you. If you ever feel limited, then obviously something needs to change, because you guys need to feel free. All right, Sagittarius. Well, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care.